Our next school today featured is McKendree University, the fine host here. The Bearcats are coming off a 5-6 record in 2022, which included a 2-4 mark in conference play, tied for 4th. The GLVC preseason poll just released. Coaches have picked McKendree to finish 5th. Joining us today is head coach Mike Babcock, junior wide receiver Yogi Flager, and defensive lineman Jacob Stoneburner joining us. Coach, thanks for welcoming into your home once again, and tremendous host you've been over the last several years. What a great place to be and talk football. Give us your impression of the squad this season as we are getting ready to start next week.
This is a very interesting team that we have, especially when you look at how young we were on defense, and we have pretty much everybody coming back from that team, this year. So I'm really excited to kind of see where the strides that we can make on that side of the ball. When I look at the offensive side, it's almost the exact opposite. We had a heck of a year last year offensively and threw up some really good numbers, but we also lost, a lot of those guys. And so can we not only recreate, what we had on offense, but even do better, than what we had? And I think that's the challenge that our offensive guys have. So I think this is a very dynamic team. I think these guys have worked really hard, so very excited to see what they do next week.
Coach, thank you. 13 starters return, 4 on the offensive side of football. That does include your first team all GLVC wide out next to you, Yogi, as well as honorable GLVC mention, as well as another GLVC honorable mention pick. You have a couple of decorated players in the unit. How are you fitting all of that into the new starters?
Well, it's a new team, and I'm really big on, all right, what's our culture, what's our offense, but more importantly, how can we move the ball and how can we score points? And so we'll be a little bit different this next year just because we have a new trigger man at quarterback, whoever it may be. How do I get our playmakers the ball, is always on my mind right here. And really at the end of the day, our job on offense is to score points. So however we can move the ball and get down the field is what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Coach. Yogi, we mentioned your preseason honor, which was thanks to your GLVC best 1,144 yards and 10 touchdowns. With those numbers, is there any pressure for you coming into this season, or does that just kind of say, okay, my benchmark is here, I can do better next year?
I don't think there's any pressure, but there's always a goal of mine to perform better than I did the last game, better than last year. But I feel like I just need to take this game by game, rep by rep, play by play, and I feel like the coaches will put me in a good position to succeed. And the new quarterback, whoever it may be, I feel like he's going to help me out a lot, especially with the other people we were picking up on the offense. We had a lot of transfers come in, a lot of new guys coming up to play, since we only have around 4 players returning on the offensive side. So I feel like we're going to be able to piece everything together, and they're going to be able to aid me, and I'll be able to aid them.
Excellent, thank you. Coach, the 7 returners on the defensive side include 3 more all-conference standouts, including Jacob next to you. Give us your take on the defensive side of a really talented group of players.
Again, I think I really felt, especially a year ago, it's almost kind of building, not necessarily from scratch, but kind of building up because we are so young. I've really been impressed with some of the new leadership that's coming from that side of the ball, understanding that last year we weren't happy with the way we finished. What are those things that we need to do in order to be top of the conference? They want to be successful. There's no doubt that they want, great things. I think they're now realizing these are the things we need to do in order to be great. And that's what's really fun to see as a coach, that kind of dynamic, that switch of talking about it and now doing it. And a guy like Jacob and the rest of the group getting after it this summer has been a fun thing to kind of be a part of.
Thank you. Jacob, you have an all GLVC honor on your resume. That came after 24 tackles, 4.5 for loss, and 1 sack. How has your off season been? And tell us how you feel about improving on what you did last year. How do you build on that?
Off season's been amazing. We've had a lot of freshmen come in and get some good work in, and I'm excited for that. Upcoming season expectations don't really. The mentions and things, they come and go, but I'm just really worried about winning games. And like you said, last year we didn't perform to our standard that we would like to, and I think this year we will prove what we are about.
Thank you. Coach, talk about your special teams unit. You have both your kicker and punter coming back from last season with really good numbers. So what could we expect from them this season, and is there anyone else you anticipate making a big impact in special teams?
When it comes to the kicker and the punter, very happy to have those guys coming back. They're older guys. They've been in the fire before, so it's very nice to have experienced guys back there. I think, from a returner standpoint, the guy next to me, I think, is going to be one of the best in the conference, and if not in the nation, as far as one of the most dynamic guys that we have had. So I'm excited to find ways, again, to move the ball, whether it's offense, whether it's special teams. There's a lot of dynamic plays that happen in the special teams category, and can we capitalize that in all of the phases of special teams is a fun thing to see.
Excellent. Coach, give us your take on this season and how you're approaching this year's schedule.
I think we need to be tougher. I think with a younger group, not a ton of fifth-year, sixth-year seniors in this group. We want to be more physical. I think we've had one of the most physical and grueling off seasons that we've had in a while. I think it's helped. I'm excited for this fall camp. We have a heck of a non-conference schedule to start us off as we get into conference play with some of the best teams. So again, very excited and kind of building that grit within this team has been a fun process this year.
Gentlemen, thank you so much, Coach Yogi and Jacob. Thanks for joining us today, and best of luck this season.